Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Chris Holt, and today I've got a good new mod for the Camaro. Now, like you've seen in the title, I got myself a nice, big, beefy BMR rear sway bar for the car. So, just like that, guys, let's go ahead and install it on my car. I've got a 2010 Chevy Camaro V6, so if any of you guys have that, you can go out and buy it yourself. But I got this off the forums for a great deal, and so I figured it's too good to pass up. Let's get it, put it on the car, and let's upgrade the suspension a little bit more than just the lowering springs that I currently have on the car. So just like that, guys, let's go ahead, let's get into the install. How's it going, guys? Well, today we're going to be working on the Camaro here, and I got myself a new rear sway bar. Now this one is from BMR, and I believe it's a 25mm solid bar from BMR for the rear. Now I know I don't have the fronts yet, but I'm going to do a little bit of explaining of why I got this and why I haven't gotten the front bar yet, which will probably come here in the near future. But what the BMR bar does, or what a rear anti-roll bar does, is it ties the two rear struts together. Now on a car like this that's big and heavy, it creates a lot of understeer having a thinner bar in the rear than the front. So I'm going to do a favor to the handling characteristics of the car, install a rear bar like this. Now one thing that's great about this bar is that it is adjustable. So there's 3 different settings here, and I will be able to tailor this to what the handling characteristics I want for the car. Now it comes with the new rear bushings and all of that that BMR comes with. And so what I'm going to do is I'm first going to take you guys out on the road with the stock rear bar. Then I'm going to remove the rear bar and go for a quick test drive without it, which isn't really recommended, but let's see how it handles. No one really knows. And then I'm going to see what setting I would like to tailor this rear bar to. And hopefully we'll get a little bit of different handling characteristics between each of them. Now I'm not on a track, I'm just out on public roads, so I don't really have my spot that I can really push the car with all 3 different settings. But with this rear bar in, hopefully it will tighten up the rear of the car, reduce a little bit of the understeer that I get with the car, and really improve the handling characteristics of this car. So just like that, guys, let's go ahead and I'll show you how we're going to remove the stock rear bar. Okay guys, so here's the car. I put it up on these ramps right here. I'm hoping I don't have to either take off a wheel or raise the car even higher, but I'm going to kind of show you all that is required to do. So up under here, I don't know if you can see that, but the end link right there, and that's where the sway bar goes. That you got to take that bolt out. I believe that's a 15mm, and then it attaches to the frame right there. Let's see if we can, yeah, right there. And those I believe are 13mm, and you just got to do that on either side, which I can obviously do from here, but then I gotta fish it out, and I'm hoping I can get creative and fish it out. Now ideally I'd run aftermarket end links, but since I just bought it off the forums for pretty cheap, I'm running the stock end links, and maybe eventually we'll get some aftermarket end links on there. But that's what you gotta do. I'm gonna time it and literally see how long it takes me to do. I doubt it'll be that long. Also guys, the only tools we're going to need is right there. That's the 15mm open-ended box wrench. And then we're going to need a 5mm hex on there. I might not even need that, an Allen wrench, 5mm Allen wrench. If this doesn't get the end links off, you got to put that in the middle to make sure that the nut doesn't spin. But I grabbed them both out before. Then a 3/8 socket with a 13mm right there. I chose a deep drive, and that will take it off of the rear subframe. That's for the end links, that's for the subframe. I'm thinking it should be pretty easy, but you never know. So I'm gonna do a timer and see how long it takes me, so you guys can get a realistic idea of how long it's gonna take you. Alright guys, 15 minutes, 7 seconds. That was what it took to get the rear bar, all the bolts off of it, and ready to be removed. Now, I'm hoping it'll be really easy. It definitely would be if I, removed the wheel or had it obviously up on a lift would be way easier. It's gonna take some finagling to get out. I don't need to drop the exhaust or anything like that. So hopefully it comes out pretty easy, but I'll just let you know how it goes. Alright guys, so we took the stock one out, drove with it without a sway bar, rear sway bar, and now it's time we're going to put the rear BMR in. It's going to be exactly the same. We're just going to have 3 adjustment points, and I'm going to do the one closest to the bar right there. It's going to be the stiffest setting, and then it's going to literally use the same bolts and certain things that we used for the stock one. Just reinstall it the exact same way, just with the BMR bushings set up in the same spot that that one is, and then we're just going to throw it there on the car. Okay guys, here's the car obviously, and underneath, let's see if we can see it, but we have the new BMR sway bar in there. You can see maybe a little bit, maybe not, but it's in there and it's on setting 3, the closest. Let's see if we can see that. Probably not, but it is the furthest rear setting, so it will be the stiffest for this car. And we will see how she goes. We'll take her back out on the road just before dark, and we will see how she handles it. So guys, there you have it. The BMR rear sway bar install on my 2010 Camaro. My driving impressions honestly were great. I mean, for how relatively inexpensive it is, it really makes a big difference. You can really tell the car wants to dart around a lot more, and yet it doesn't affect daily driving. It doesn't affect the ride, it doesn't make it stiffer or anything like that. It just makes the steering more responsive. And it really, from what I could tell, is going to mitigate the understeer pretty well with this car. And it's a beast of a car too. So if you guys want a BMR sway bar or any other style sway bar, I highly recommend it for this generation Camaro. It really helps you know, liven up the car a little bit. Now it'll be really interesting to see if I can get it during, you know, track days, autocross events, certain things like that, to really see how it does against, you know, other cars of this size. I think it's one of the best things that you could probably do. Now this is on like a day's worth of work and like literally 30 minutes of install and you know, taking off with all the drives and all of this. Like, it was probably like 2 hours worth of this and filming, because filming adds some time. But if you guys have any questions or want to do a rear sway bar install yourself, just let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. I'd love to answer you guys, answer some questions you guys have, and whether it's for a Camaro, a Miata, a WRX, whatever you want, whatever you got, I think sway bars are probably worth it. I mean, for me, I really didn't think it was going to do that much. I found a deal on the forums and figured it's too good to pass up, but it truly surprised me. So I mean, it's something that I'm probably going to look into for the WRX here in the near future. Just get it to stiffen up a little bit and get it a little bit more darty, which, I mean, that car already is pretty darty, so it'll be really interesting to see what a set of sway bars or rear sway bar on that car would really do. But as far as this car, I'm going to say A+, 2 thumbs up. So far, I really like it. For the price, you probably can't beat it, and yeah, I'd highly suggest it to one of you guys. So let's go ahead, close out the video upstairs. Okay, so there you have it. That's how you guys can put a BMR rear sway bar on your Camaro. Now, I know it was kind of a little bit choppy and all that. I originally planned on making this all into one video, but I broke it up into 2 videos. So this video is all about the installation and all that. And here in the next few days, if not already, I will post a driving and real world experience test between no sway bar, the stock sway bar, and the BMR sway bar. So it'll be really interesting to see how it does. Now, I've already done this, so I know the outcome and all that, but I think it should be a good video because it gives my real world thoughts about how each sway bar drives. Now, it's just the rear sway bar, not a whole spot, and like I said before, I've done some suspension work already to the car with the lowering springs, but that is it. It's got wheels, tires, but now the big beefy BMR rear sway bar. So if you guys want to see if the BMR rear sway bar actually does anything to improve the handling, go ahead and watch the video up here in the corner. If it's not up there, the video hasn't been posted yet, but it should be really good. Now, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I love how we've been growing recently. Really appreciate it, guys. I've got a ton of new mods for both the Camaro and the Subaru. It's still out there, guys. I know I'm dealing with a lot of Camaro content, but I still have my 2002 Subaru WRX. But if you guys want to see any videos on either of the cars, any mods done to either of the cars, let me know in the comments down below. I really appreciate it, and I love hearing from you guys. So just like that, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.